Alright, what's going on, guys? In a time where video games are more mainstream than they ever have been in history, it's only natural that the creative IPs behind our favorite games go beyond the video game medium. And the most common place they end up is with a movie based on the game. Now, video game movies have a pretty unfortunate history, with the vast majority of them being absolutely terrible, and sadly with the recent Minecraft movie trailer, it doesn't look like that's gonna get any better anytime soon. But over the last year, pictures have been getting painted more and more that FromSoftware games will be getting film adaptations of their own. With lots of leaks, rumors, and even some confirmation, Sekiro, Armored Core, and even Elden Ring are going to be coming to the big screen. So today I'm going to get you up to date on everything we know about the different adaptations for these games, and whether or not these could be big successes or absolute flops. But when we play these games, embark on these fantastical journeys, and experience fascinating stories, one question that'll come to a lot of people's minds is, how can I be a part of that? Well, fortunately, we live in the age of information, and today's sponsor is here to help you make your dreams come true. Boot.dev is an online academy where you can easily and in an entertaining fashion learn the intricacies of back-end programming. Ordinary online learning can be very boring, and chances are you get distracted and forget what you're actually reading on screen. But Boot.dev gamifies your learning experience in the form of an RPG, and by making you actually program yourself, it's proven to help you retain that knowledge. You'll learn Python and Go programming languages, and in a market where the median back-end developer salary is 6 figures, that is very valuable on your resume. So check out boot.dev today by clicking the link down in the description and using promo code Ziostorm to get 25% off your first payment, whether that be a year or a month depending on your subscription plan. So a massive thank you to boot.dev for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back into it. Let's start off today by talking about Sekiro. Now, some of y'all might remember a long time ago, well over a year ago, there was a rumor floating around that Sekiro could potentially be getting an anime adaptation. Now, at the time when that rumor was released, there weren't any details to go off of, but the person who revealed the info was a fairly reliable leaker, so it seemed like it could be a legit possibility. However, after about a week, game showcases came and went with no news, and the original leaker deleted their post about it. And ever since then, it's been radio silence, so I personally assumed that this was a fake leak, or if it was real, the project was dropped. However, just a few days ago this has popped back up, but this time corroborated by multiple leakers with perfect track records, all saying the same thing, and we have details. Coming from the website OECUF, we had the exclusivity of announcing the production of a Sekiro anime based on the video game developed by FromSoftware. And today we're proud to announce that the anime is produced by Qzilla with a low episode count. They have recently produced the opening for the anime Jigo Kuraku, or Hell's Paradise Season 1. Now, I found another post from a fellow leaker also talking about this that specified further that the anime would have 8 episodes, and the director would be Kenichi Kutsuna. Now, this one actually came all the way back in June, and did seem to get correct that the studio would be Qzilla. So let's break this down. Who exactly is Studio Qzilla? Unfortunately, they don't have much history as a studio on projects, but the biggest thing they've done, as the leak suggested, is the opening for Hell's Paradise. Now, ironically, when we talked about this last year, I specifically mentioned that a Sekiro anime should really look to Hell's Paradise for inspiration. But of course, MAPPA was the studio that animated that show. Qzilla just did the intro, but it is a really good intro, and they did a fantastic job on it, so I do think that's a good sign. As for the director, Kenichi Kutsuna, if it is indeed correct that he will be directing it, would also be a pretty good sign, as he has a lot of experience with the Naruto movies, some work on Full Metal Alchemist and Bleach, among lots of others in the animation department. But nowadays, when it comes to anime studios, much of the work is done freelance, so we can't say too much for certain right now whether it's going to be good or bad animation, but I do think it could be in good hands. Sekiro as a game, in my opinion, at least when it comes to FromSoftware's catalog, is probably the best suited one to be adapted into an anime, as it has an easily understandable story, lots of potential for flashy action, and you wouldn't really need to change anything from the game. It could be a one-to-one story representation, and if they did want to go another route, giving potentially an Ishin backstory, or creating a new story based off the cliffhanger ending, there's a lot of room to work with there as well. All that to say, I think it would probably be the hardest to mess up, but you never know. We're ultimately gonna have to see when it does come out, but I'm excited. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Now let's talk about Armored Core, and you likely heard the news. Armored Core will be getting a bit of a TV show, however only one episode. Recently at Gamescom, a new anthology series to air on Prime Video called Secret Level was announced, and we got a teaser trailer for it. Now for copyright reasons I don't think I can play the full trailer, but I can show you the bits that were shown for episode 1, which will be all about Armored Core. Now this will be a CGI, semi-live action style show, and it appears that Keanu Reeves, or at least his likeness, will be the main character for the Armored Core bit. Now we don't have details on which Armored Core game or story they're going to be touching upon. I assume it would be Armored Core 6 being the most recent one, but the trailer didn't give us much to go off of there. Armored Core, kinda like Sekiro, could really work well in this medium because we had a really solid story here that again wasn't too complex to understand what was going on, and while they could follow the game, I do think this time around it'd work better exploring a potentially new story that touches on elements in the world, and they could keep it as simple or complex as they wanted and it would still work. Now the details of the show do say original stories, and obviously we don't ever actually see a pilot of an AC in the games, so I wouldn't expect to see many familiar faces or elements from any game in particular. Maybe some Easter eggs, but the thing about Armored Core is the story has been retconned with nearly every game, and universe has changed, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what they choose to adapt. Now as for show details, as I said, we're only getting one episode about Armored Core. The other episodes are going to be about other games, such as Warhammer 40k, New World, Pac-Man, Fable, Concord, ironically, and several others. And that'll be airing on December 10th, once again on Prime Video. So I can't wait to see what they do with that. I'm gonna be checking it out absolutely, and probably do a little review for you guys after it comes out. So let's talk about Elden Ring. I do think it was inevitable with the game's success that somebody was going to try to adapt this into a movie or TV show, and it looks like that could be the case. As a few months back, after the launch of the DLC, George R.R. Martin had this to say very smugly, "Oh, and about those rumors you may have heard about a future film or television series based on Elden Ring, I have nothing to say. Not a word. Nope, not a thing. I know nothing. You'll never hear a peep from me." What rumor? Which is a very clear and deliberate hint that there probably is something in the works and he knows all about it, especially considering I don't think there was a rumor to begin with. Now around the same time as this blog post, somebody did ask Miyazaki about a potential Elden Ring movie or TV show, and he made it very clear that he didn't know of one in the works, but would be open to the idea if they had a strong partner. So it appears like if there is one going on, that George Martin is involved but not Miyazaki, which has me very worried because unlike Sekiro and Armored Core, Elden Ring's story is extremely convoluted, not straightforward in the slightest, and could go very wrong. So unless whoever's directing it is an extreme fan and wants to do it justice and isn't just in it for a quick money grab, then I think the chances of this being a success are pretty low. Now beyond that we have no details at all. It's purely up to speculation, but if I had to bet money I would bet that it probably is going to happen, but I wouldn't want to bet on it being good. So let me ask you this. If we did get an Elden Ring movie or TV show, what part of the story would you want it to adapt, and how would you want that to play out? But that is currently everything we know about film adaptations for FromSoftware games that are currently in the works. Personally, I'm most excited for the Armored Core episode of Secret Level. From what we've already seen, it does look really good, at least when it comes to the presentation, and they definitely have the vibe right. I'm also super interested to see what the Sekiro anime is ultimately going to look like. There is a lot of potential there, and again, with the experience on the Hell's Paradise intro, I hope they take some notes from the anime of that as well. But if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here. Be sure to go check out boot.dev, and once again thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. With all that though, I will catch you in the next one.